What's Your Self Talk? This is an exclusive What's Your Self Talk interview with my mentor, Willie Moore Jr. I have the pleasure to be able to catch him today right after you preach a great sermon. But Willie have poured into my life spiritually, in my marriage. I got my beautiful wife over here as well. So I just want to get a chance so you understand how he has helped me shape my mindset and allowing me to continue to grow in my faith, in my marriage, and also in my business. So Willie, brother, I appreciate you doing
Man, my pleasure, man. Glad to be here with you.
Absolutely.
Flat out.
So let me ask you this. I know this, but tell me a little bit about your story. How have you gotten to where you are today?
Indeed, I always tell people I failed my way all the way to where I am right now. Like, I've never been afraid to attempt to try to do anything. Like, if God put it in my heart, I'm going for it. Sometimes I outrun God a little bit because, like, you know, the one thing I'm learning as I mature is that I can sometimes miss the timing of God, meaning what season. But of course, man, dude from St. Louis, Missouri, my diploma read Ferguson, Florissant School District. In my neighborhood, there was just a lot of everything going on. Tried to be tough, but I realized that I couldn't be because I can't really fight that good. Like, so I learned how to, like, okay, I can just run fast. So I ended up getting a track scholarship. Yeah. Because I could run from the game, because I just couldn't really fight that well. So ended up getting a track scholarship to the University of Mississippi, signed with Universal Records. Was this guy named Pretty Willie. And then I had kids. Kids took the Pretty. I'm holding on to Handsome. Okay.
Hold on to it.
I'm just holding on like that.
Man,
and, you know, man, then the Lord had an encounter with the Lord. He was like, your way or my way. I ended up going back to St. Louis, starting this thing called the Young Flying Save movement. It hit the internet, it went viral, kids got excited about the Lord, and I never stopped running for him. Yeah,
so that's really when I found you kind of in that transition of Young Flying Slave. I knew the Pretty Willie, but I was like, I like what this transition he's in. And that's when I really clinged on to who you were. And a lot of that was credited to your faith.
Amen.
Tell me a lot about what was that change in that season that allowed you to say, okay, I need to start living this way because the way I was living before is not really allowing me to see the fruits in my life, or it's not really leading me to the life that I want. Tell me more about that.
You know what? It's two roads. Like, everywhere is leading you somewhere. Like, for me, I realized that I had a family now. I had children, and I just noticed my children wanting to be exactly like me. And then I had to self-assess and said, you know what? Maybe I'm not the man that I want to be for them. Right. You know, like, I didn't want my kids to see me on stage with my shirt off hunching. I didn't want them to see me in and out of hotel rooms, disrespecting their mother. Like, I realized every seed that I was planting in them, like, was a pertinent one. Like, I'm literally writing their testimony. So what type of testimony do I want to write for my children? So that's why I always challenge people, like, do what you got to do. Hustle how you got to hustle, but know that you're writing the testimony of your children. Meaning one day they're going to stand on stage, they're going to talk about their life, and I just want to know, how will you be noted in their life? I wanted to be the guy that they say, my dad was my hero. Yeah. And so that switched my whole life. And the only way that I could become the hero with all the hurt, pain, and issues that I have on the inside was through Jesus Christ. I started reading this Bible, not for a history lesson, but like, okay, cool. So if this is true, just show me the principles. And I took the principles, applied them to my life, and, you know, life ain't never been the same.
I love that. So there's a lot of great nuggets in there. But so tell me, so now you start living your life for God, and you start making sure you're being an example, not just for you, but for your kids, which I absolutely love. You know, my wife is being able to have our first child now. Yeah. So tell me how did you transition into doing this more full time? Because at first you weren't doing it full time. No. It was a story of a transition, but it was because your faith and trusting what God was telling you, listening to Him, praying to Him, and saying, okay, I want to be a better example for my kids. I want to be able to be a better provider for my wife. So how help that mindset? Because for me, I understand it. Sometimes I have to come back to you, listen to some of the songs that you wrote, and just remind me, okay, he was in this season. So for those who are in that season, understand, okay, I know what I need to do, but I need to keep pushing. Yeah. I need to keep going. And now you've done that for so long, it got you to this point where you're right now. Yeah. So can you speak to that for me?
Man, as we stand here right now, less than 0.2 miles is where I landed when I got here to Atlanta. In the apartment that I lived in, 700 square foot. Like, that's where I was. Like, it was the hardest time of my life. But my thing was, either this faith stuff gonna work, or it's not gonna work. I always noticed that when I go to the restaurants that I go to, the waiter, like, he let me have the dang on menu, and then I get to do the menu, I get to do what I have to do, and then I choose something, he hurry up and snatch the menu. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, I still might want to look. But they get rid of all other options. Like, people don't know that. That's what the waiter grabbed the menu for, because he know that if you make a decision and then you still get to look, you're like, no, I wanted chicken. No, I wanted this. No, I wanted that. And so what I'm telling people what I did, although it hurt, although I lost my house, almost lost my family, I went broke, I sat on the bed and cried like a baby as they took my stuff and moved it out of my house, and I moved into the basement of my mother-in-law's home. But God had snatched my menu away. I had made my decision. So either we was going to get it or we wasn't going to get it. Yeah. Either we was going to make it or we wasn't going to make it. I didn't have any other options, because I said, you know what? For you I live, for you I die. So although it hurt, I realized if this word is the truth, if you said I'm more than a conqueror, then I'm going to have to conquer. And the only way I'm going to conquer is staying faithful to what you made me do. And it hurt. Like my wife right now, she's still shielded because we took so many blows in the midst of that. And so, you know, what I tell people is like, either you with it or you not. Like, I ain't trying to force nobody. I'm just saying, if you go through the fire, you let God break you, he'll build you back up, he'll make you something great.
Yeah. So, and I know a lot of that, and me personally, so I'm speaking to myself right now, and I think to be helpful for everyone else. So for me, as you continue to be broken, you know, I'm in that season right now where I'm constantly, I feel God's told me I know what I'm doing. And me and my wife was having a conversation, and you pointed something out to me yesterday. You said, don't force it. I see you on what's your self-talk. And my wife said, I see you, but don't force it. I want you to speak to me, but I know this is going to speak to somebody else, because I want to be vulnerable right now. When you say don't force it, what is it that you're seeing, not in just me, but also others who are forcing something that's probably not what God is actually telling you to do?
It's just an energy. Like, it's just an energy. Like, for me, when I was just on stage, I was initially, when I first came, I was like, oh man, I'm just going to, because I know how to do the jargon. Everybody going to come up. They know how to, like, I can sing. Yeah. If you know, I'm like, man, this Paul is more like, to y'all who ain't in church, you don't get it for real, because I didn't at first, but he's like a staple in like, his Bishop Paul's a whole bunch of them. But it's like, I can either go up there and be exactly who I am in this season, or I can go up there and pretend that I'm somewhere else that I'm not. Like, I believe this, vulnerability brings supporters. I always got it together, everything right, that brings fans. I consider you a supporter, not a fan, because you understand my life. I didn't shield nothing, I didn't hide nothing back. When I was there on YouTube, you knew where I was. When I told you I lost everything, that's exactly where it was. People connect with people when they understand the process. Most people just like to show the victory. And so what I was saying is, don't force it. If we going through, we going through. What's your self-talk? Man, right now, my self-talk is, things ain't going like they need to be. But this is what I do know. He said this, I said that, and so I got to change my self-talk. Maybe you need to change your self-talk too, because we have our negative days, we got our real issues. Like, I'm just saying, let's just be real about where we are, so God can take us where He needs to be, so we gain these supporters. I can never lose again because I got so many supporters, because they feel like they know me. I just went to a hotel where I used to study, and nobody knew me back then. I came in there seemingly regular, and 200 people gathered in the lobby, and I'm praying for these people. I just came to study the Bible, because I used to could do that, but I got so many supporters who come and they just like, man, you remember you was on YouTube? Man, I had cancer, man, you was speaking to me, and when I was doing this, man, I was selling dope, man, when I was in jail, you got so many supporters. But I'm just saying, let's just grow where we are and don't force anything that's not. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm here. Hey, man, I'm on this gas money. You got $30? Like, if I'm on $30, I'm on $30. If I'm down 48 grand, I'm down 48 grand. Like, I ain't trying to pretend. Like, I'm like, man, this is who I am. And they respect. Like, the glory fell today because I was who I was. Amen. I don't know who I disrespect. I don't know. I know I ain't everybody coffee. I know I ain't everybody cup of tea. I'm somebody coffee though. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I just be coffee. Y'all be tea. I'm gonna be coffee. Flat out.
Man. All right. There's a lot of nuggets in there to grab. To be honest with you, that's what I needed to hear. So, now take me out to, how does this live out in your marriage? That's one reason we are here today. We had a chance to be with you one-on-one, pouring into your marriage. Why did you feel like it was important? Because if we're honest, the lifestyle you live, you put that glory, that fame, all those things before family. But you learn how to make sure it was in the right correction, where it was God, family, then business. And so tell me a little bit more how you got that wrong, and now you making sure you got that right, and now you're growing in this season because of that.
You know, I'm still getting it together, to be real vulnerable. you know, right now I seen some Will Smith Red Table Talk, like I'm a lot like him. So Will had this picture of family. He was really forcing everybody into this box of what he's seen in his head. And I'm the same way. I think I'm more infatuated with the picture of family than I am to doing the work. But now I'm like, now that I know that, it's time for me to really go out there and do the work. Not just talking, but walking. Like, I'm doing good, but everything I do, I got to be phenomenal with it. Like, I don't want to just be good. I don't want my wife to just be happy. I want to blow her socks off.
Yeah.
Like, if I can blow the socks off of church, if I can blow the socks off the Atlanta Hawks whenever, if I can do that,
Yeah.
like, I want my wife to be like, Paul, here he come. I mean, it don't have to be every day, but I know that there's some areas that I can become phenomenal in. Like, I've made the adjustment, but I'm still adjusting to the adjustment I made, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
so,
sense.
all I'm saying is I made a decision. I took the menu off, like, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Now that I made the decision, now I'm learning to live up to what I ordered.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good.
Hey, thank you for checking it out. So right now I had a little technical difficulties when I was recording this with Willie. So I had to pull out my phone and record, and he was telling a story about learning how to plant the right seeds in ahead. So, hey, thank you. Go ahead and check it out. And you always know that question. What's your self-talk?
What I've learned is that flowers have to be planted. And so you got to be extremely intentional with planting flowers in your brain. So every single day, that dandelion of failure is going to continue to pop into your brain and say, oh, you messed up on this, you made a mistake here. That don't need permission because it already happened. But however, you got to be extremely intentional with the other ones that, like, I plant thought processes in my mind every single day with what I listen to, with what I allow myself to be a part of. Like, I don't get on the phone with people before 10 a.m. You can't get me on the line. Because I'm pouring into myself. I'm planting some new stuff. I'm listening to people that I want to touch. It's so amazing. Dr. Eric Thomas, that used to be one of my favorite, well, he's still one of my favorite motivational speakers. I used to listen to him every single morning. I used to say, man, one day, me and him, we going to be cool because we have to, because he's been planting so much in my life, and then the Lord connected us together. And so it's like, now I still plant seeds. Barack Obama, wherever I want to go, I get mentors, and I'm planting these seeds in. Bishop Paul S. Morton, he don't even know. I've been listening to his messages for the last week. Like, okay, that's his trajectory. So that's the way his congregation thinks. And so this is how I'm going to give it to them so they can receive it.
Right.
So I'm studying. So make sure that you plant those thoughts versus you continuously dealing with your day-to-day in, day out. And set borders for yourself. Like, you know, you important too. You ain't got to grind on everything. You can just call me anytime. I'm going to be at every event. Nope. I'm not. I'm important too.
Yeah.
God made me special too.
Good. Yeah.
He made me a conqueror too. Yeah. I'm something. I know y'all special, but I'm somebody too. I might not be as tall as you, but I'm somebody. Say it with me. Come on, somebody. Somebody.
I'm somebody. Let's go.
Somebody out there got a dream. Somebody out there got a dream. Yeah. You got one. Everybody got one. When you know that you got a dream, yeah. Ooh. You can't let nobody tell you what you can or can't do.